Where is Joe Biden? He has not visited Florida. He says he will visit Florida on Wednesday, almost a full week after the hurricane decimated the state. Before he visits Florida, he's going to Puerto Rico. Now, why would he go to Puerto Rico first, you might ask? Well, the blunt, bold, unpleasant truth is because Joe Biden has politicized this from the beginning. He's going to Puerto Rico first because he was criticized by the radical left for not including Puerto Rico or the entirety of Puerto Rico in the initial disaster relief declaration that he issued when he declared an emergency, which opened up funding, emergency funding. Puerto Rico wasn't included to the extent that the radical left wanted it to be. Biden faced criticism for that. And so now Biden is going on a show tour. He's going to Puerto Rico first so that the radical left understands that he cares about Puerto Rico. So this is, by the way, just another example of Joe Biden is not leading. Joe Biden is following the radical leftist narrative. He is not only influenced, his decisions are being made based on bullying from the radical left. He's made this disaster political from the beginning. But when he gets to Florida, when Joe Biden, of course, held by the hand of Dr. Jill Biden, who has to lead him everywhere he goes because he has the mind of a toddler, he is President Vegetable at its finest. The first question that Joe Biden should be asked is, was Kamala Harris accurate when she said that hurricane relief will be distributed through the lens of equity? Was Kamala Harris accurate when she said that people of color will receive hurricane relief because of the color of their skin, which would also mean that white people will be deprived of that hurricane relief based on the color of their skin? Is that accurate, or was she wrong? It is a binary choice. The only nuance to it is what the FEMA administrator brought to the table. Is the first phase going to be distributed fine and equally, not based on need and not on immutable characteristic? But then the rebuilding phase, will that be based on racism? Will that require racial discrimination? Will that be socialism? Are you looking for equal outcome, or are you looking for the distribution of taxpayer funds, by the way, to the people who paid the taxes based on their level of need? If he's not asked this question, it is a gross negligence of journalistic integrity to whoever is in that room. Because what presidents do when they survey these disaster scenes, and by the way, I understand presidents who hold back from visiting disaster scenes. I know this might be an unpopular opinion, but hear me out here. Sometimes presidents just get in the way. Because it's not like they're going to be doing work that someone else wasn't going to be doing, right? They come with this whole cadre of Secret Service. They have to shut roads down. They have to have all their schedules line up. It's basically a huge, complicated mess. It's chaos when they come. The reason that presidents come is twofold. Either they need to show their face at the scene of a disaster in order to promote national unity, to encourage the nation. This is why presidents sometimes will show up after mass shootings to say, listen, we hear you, we see your pain, we want the nation, here's what I want the nation to be feeling and to be thinking. That's what a good faith president or a good faith governor, a good faith leader, a good faith senator will do if there's a disaster. The other reason that presidents show up is for political purposes, is just to exploit that tragedy to make it look like they are in touch with the people that was hurt. So they put on like a zip-up windbreaker and boots and jeans and a ball cap instead of the traditional suit, and they show up and act like they are on the grounds getting their hands dirty helping these people. But we all know that that's not the case. And again, for better or for worse, that's not the case. Like, that might not be the job of the president at that moment to pick up a shovel, right? So it's not that I criticize Joe Biden for not going to Florida for a week. It's that I criticize Joe Biden for making this political, for his choice to go to Puerto Rico first based on the bullying of the radical left. I criticize Joe Biden for everything that he said about DeSantis, both through his press secretaries and directly in his administration. I criticize Joe Biden for surrounding himself with people like Kamala Harris, who looks at this disaster, this natural disaster, and says, actually, we're not going to base our relief on if you need it. We're going to base it on the color of your skin. So where is Joe Biden? He's silent, which means that is implicit endorsement of what his vice president said.